All right, we're going to go ahead and get started this evening. It is Thursday night. I realize that, so I don't want to get too far behind. But thank you to everyone who is here. It's great to see all of you, and looking forward to a great night of celebrating our teams and remembering the great seasons that we had. So I appreciate all of you sacrificing your Thursday night to be here with us together. Are we good? I feel like I'm going in and out. Do you want me to switch microphones? Here, I'll just throw it to you.
Test. Please stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties, but we will resume shortly. Thank you.
I think your career could be in flight attending like that. Pilot. All right, awesome. Okay, anyway, I forgot to print off my notes, so I'm just reading off my computer here, so hopefully this will go well and it won't die on me. But thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and we'll pray, and I've got some instructions about how things are going to work. I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then we'll get going. All right, so let's pray. God, thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for the great fall seasons we had. We thank you for this school, and I thank you for all our athletes and our families that are represented here. We thank you for the ministry that you've given us in our athletics, that we can use our gifts and abilities in our sports to build character, to grow personally, and to bring you honor and glory through what you've blessed us with. Help us to have a great evening here together tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so anyway, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to a few people. First of all, since I'm thinking about it right now, thank you to Mr. Olson up there and Mr. Sellers, Coach Sellers, helping with the technical stuff because that is past my pay grade. So thank you for being here this evening. Thank you to Miss Bradenberg and Miss Bagwell, helped me set up the Welcome Center this afternoon, so it looks great out there. So I appreciate you, both of you helping me with that. We have a lot of really beautiful certificates up here. Our office ladies helped me print those off because I'm not allowed to use the color printer. So thank you to you guys for doing that for me. All year long, we had our concessions, which was coordinated by Miss Brigham. She is awesome, and it was such a great, yes, there you go. Appreciate that. It was a huge load off of my back to not have to deal with that and being able to have food and drinks at our games. So thank you again, Miss Brigham. I have one teacher's assistant. Corbin, are you here? Where are you at, Corbin? Okay, there's Corbin. I just want to point him out because he helps me. He has an hour with me every single day, sometimes 2 hours. It's a lot. But he helps me set up the games, set up the gym, set up the field, pretty much anything that I am behind on or can't do myself, like pulling bleachers out and carrying coolers. He loves to carry the coolers across the ball field. That was his favorite task. But anyway, thank you, Corbin. Couldn't have made it through the season without you. Also, I did want to say, Andrew McLean is not a technical teacher's assistant, but he sweeps our floor every morning, so thank you for doing that, Andrew. Big job. Okay, lastly, I just especially want to thank Coach Sommer. He's here somewhere, but he's not technically, he doesn't like to be called anything official, but he has a very big role in making our athletics work and run, does a ton of stuff behind the scenes that he probably doesn't want me to mention all of them, but I definitely would not be able to make it through the season, through every day without his help, his advice, everything that he does for me. So thank you, Coach Sommer. Appreciate it. Okay, To all the teachers that are here, thank you for being patient with our athletes and allowing them to, not really allowing them to do this, but supporting them through their athletic journeys. It's a lot of time out of class sometimes, and it's late nights, which probably means some late homework and difficulties there. So I appreciate our FCS staff always being supportive of our athletics program. To all of our families that are represented here, I really definitely could not do it without your support and all your help and all of your mandatory volunteering that I make you do. So I do appreciate that, and I never have to deal with people giving me hard times about that, and you're all very supportive, and so I definitely appreciate that as well. So thank you for helping with that. Our coaches, we have quite a few, and we have some on staff, we have some that are not on staff. But we had a really good group of coaches in the fall. Very happy with how they did, and not just how they coached our teams, but how they led them and guided them. And so thank you, coaches, and all that you do behind the scenes, and it is greatly appreciated. And then lastly, to our athletes. Couldn't have a season without there being students to play. So thanks for coming out, and I hope that this will not only be your only thing that you do at school, but continue to get involved. One of the great things about our school is that there are a lot of opportunities for kids to get involved, and since our school does not have thousands of kids in it, you have a lot of opportunity here. So take advantage of it. Do as much as you can during your high school years, because you will not regret it when you get older. And thank you for being part of our fall sports. All right? Okay, so I'm going to stop talking, and we will get to our awards this evening, okay? So a little bit of instructions as you come up. When your team's name is called, we'll have all of our athletes stand over here to my left, your right, on the stairs. The coach will stand here, say some words, hand out our awards that we have here. Middle school, all athletes will receive a certificate for their participation. Varsity level sports will also receive a pin for their participation on the team. And then there will be a few select awards at the end. Once we get through all of our teams, the very last thing we're going to do is recognize a few all-conference athletes that received some special awards for our entire conference. And then once that is done, we will be done for the evening. All right, so with no further ado, we are going to start with our first team this evening, which is middle school volleyball. So if all of you could come up to the front here, and we'll have Coach Pizzullo and Coach Husky come up and present their team.
Good evening, everyone. I am Debbie Pizzullo, the head coach for the MS volleyball team, and I'm honored to be here this evening to celebrate our fall athletes. I would first like to thank God for the ability to coach again this year, and my family, Brian, Kiara, and Bella, for being supportive. I would like to thank Coach Husky for her assistance this season. We made a great team, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to partner with her. I would also like to thank Mr. Brondike, athletic director, for his leadership. The season went smoothly, and I could always rely on him for encouragement and support. I would like to thank the parents of the MS volleyball team, Ms. Bagwell for faithfully keeping the scorebook at every game, and to all the parents who volunteered your time and resources to meet the various needs of the team. Thanks to the parents who came out to support the team and cheer us on. Your support was very much welcomed, and your presence at the game made a big difference. I would also like to say a special thank you to Lily Hodge, who's one of our players, who at the end of every practice or game, she will run up and ask, "Can I help with anything?" And I really appreciated that. Our team verse for this year is Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Our team motto was from strength to strength. We chose this verse and motto to highlight God as the source of our strength and encourage our players to strive to grow stronger every day. As with last year, the biggest highlight of the season was just getting to know the players and passing on the skills and lessons I learned as a volleyball player. I do have to admit it was sometimes challenging managing 17 girls across 4 different grades with various skills and personalities, but it kept things interesting. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to mention everybody by name, but I would like to commend each player for your commitment and dedication, for your support, and for allowing me to coach you this year. As with any of us, some days we were up, some days we were down. But the will to excel was always present. And as much as I am a coach, I am a huge fan of these amazing young ladies. And I am extremely proud of them. I can truly say it was an enjoyable season, and I miss spending my evenings with them. For the awards. The first award is for Falcon Spirit and Leadership. The recipient of this award embodied the characteristics of a true team player. She made sacrifices for the betterment of the team and demonstrated patience and kindness towards her teammates. She was always receptive of feedback and maintained a polite demeanor no matter the circumstance. She led by example through hard work and dedication, both at practice and in games. The Falcon Spirit and Leadership Award goes to our setter and team captain, Molly Bagwell. The next award is for Most Improved Player. This was kind of difficult to select a single person because most of the players showed improvement throughout the season. However, the recipient of this award showed the most growth in a wider range of areas. She demonstrated growth in skill, confidence, and character. She actively sought feedback and displayed a tremendous amount of passion for the sport. Her hard work not only became evident in her level of skill, but also translated to courage and confidence on the court. The award for Most Improved Player goes to Bree Westcott. In closing, I want to again say that I am extremely proud of the players and their accomplishments this season. Even though volleyball season has come to an end, I encourage you to keep our team verse and motto in your hearts. Always recognize God as your source of strength and continue from strength to strength. I love each of you and wish you the very best for the remainder of the season. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach. If you received one of those 2 awards, if coaches, could I have you come back here? Sorry. If you could come over and take a picture over here to the side, and that would be great. Awesome. Do you guys want to say anything? No, okay, they don't want to say anything, it's fine. All right, awesome. Thank you, appreciate that. I always forget to mention that. If you do receive an award, we'll take a quick picture with your coaches over here after you guys are done. All right, thank you so much. All right, we are going to move on to our next group, which is middle school boys soccer and Coach Alfonso. So come on up.
Good evening. This is something fairly brand new to me. I always grab the mic. Sorry, I'm used to it. Middle school boys soccer, something that I have never done. First of all, I want to thank God because this opportunity could not have happened without him. This happened through a brother of mine, a brother in Christ of mine at church that got in contact with Coach Brondike, and I really want to thank God for this opportunity because if it wasn't for him, I would not be here, so I want to thank God most importantly. Secondly, I want to thank Coach Brondike for giving me the opportunity to even be here, to even coach these wonderful, amazing kids, man, because it's crazy the opportunity that you can be given in such a short amount of time, and it's awesome, and I want to thank him as well for giving me the opportunity to be here. Coach Milton, where you at, Coach Milton? Where you at? Coach Milton, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your help. Thank you for everything that you've done, for every single thing that you've mentored me in, every single time you've been there at practice, every single time that you've spoken a word of encouragement. And parents, thank you so, so much for everything that you've done, for the times that we were even losing, for the times that we were just tied up, and you guys were still supporting us each and every single part of the way. Thank you for always not only supporting me, but supporting our athletic director and supporting our boys and everything that they did. And I want to thank you guys for all that you've done. Thank you so much. Now, I do not have notes, but I do have some points, so just give me a second. First, I want to talk about excellency. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31 says, "So whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God." And that is something that I really wanted to instill in these boys. Everything that we do, whether you touch a soccer ball, whether you're in school, whatever you do, we must do unto the glory of God. And this season, I have seen that these guys came from doing some of these drills not so well to doing it to the best of their capacity. And I could not ask anything more from these boys. Next, I want to talk about perseverance and the way that these boys really showed that this season. Throughout the training sessions, there were training sessions where we had to go very, very hard. Ain't that right, boys? Yeah. How to do what? Sprints. What were they called? Poles, Indians, right? And there were times where some of these boys had never been pushed beyond their limits. But I could see that in and through their eyes and through their actions, they pushed through. Even in through games, when they were tired, they were still giving me 110%, even to the point of cramping some of them. And I could see that their hard work and dedication, they always persevered, and they did everything with excellence. A couple of the boys are not here tonight. I want to thank not only all of our boys, but specifically Drew and Henry. Even though they're not here tonight, I want to thank them for being a part of the team as well. I want to give honor where honor is needs to be recognized. Where's Marco? Marco, where you at, man? There you are. Marco was not a goalkeeper, and I want to thank Marco, man, for really stepping up this season and becoming a goalkeeper. You're a baseball player, right? Basketball, you play it all, man. You play it all. He plays it all. And he stepped up, and I said, guys, we're going to need a goalkeeper. Who's going to step up? Who's going to step up? I said, all right, I'll do it. And he said, all right. And he did it. And not only did he do it, but the manner in which he came out each and every training session and got better and better and better. And the fact that he got almost a shutout against Thales, right? Thales. And he played the game of his life, and the coach is telling me, where did you get this goalkeeper? I'm like, first time playing this season. First time playing. I don't know what they feed him, but they feed him good. Now, I also want to thank Bradley and Michael for being captains this season. Thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you so much for showing that you can lead out this team and that you have the character to play 60 minutes, whether it be 50 minutes, but these guys really pushed the team this season. So thank you guys so much. And for every single one of you that put in work, I know a lot of you guys don't play soccer as your primary sport, but I want to thank you guys for stepping up, number one, and then number two, giving your all, not only to me, but to the school, and most importantly to God, because that's the most important thing, okay? We have 2 awards tonight. The first award is the Team Leader Award, and the reason why I have this Team Leader Award is because despite the fact that this person was not a captain, he still stepped up outside of practices, and was still a leader outside. In the last game that we played, regular conference, we lost with 7 seconds left. And even after 7 seconds left, this man literally said, hey, pick up your heads. The game's still not over. And I said, whoa, this guy has character. Even 7 seconds left. And this man still has fight in him. And he's still leading the team. despite the fact that he knows that we're down with a couple of seconds left. So the Team Leader Award this year goes to Jacob Brandenburg. Now, this next award was very, very hard because all of these boys improved one way or another, whether it be in their touch, their skill, their ability, or even their endurance just to sprint from one end to another. They all improved in one way. But the person that really, really impressed to me from just being on the bench to being my starter every single game has to go to Jeremy Kabing. Thank you guys so much for having me here. Friendship has truly been a blessing. You guys have truly been a blessing. Coach Brondike, thank you so much for this opportunity. If I could, I would do it again. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great night. Thank you.
Just want to thank Coach for a great season and for really pushing us hard and overall making us a better team. So, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Alfonso and middle school boys. All right, we're going to move on to our next team, our third one here this evening, which will be, I believe, JV Volleyball. Yes, JV Volleyball and Coach Tatnan, Coach T. So y'all come on up right over here.
I'm short. Sorry. Thank you. So I kind of already poured out my heart to these girls in an email form, but understandably, since I work at a hospital, nobody ever reads their emails, so I'm going to read it to them. So I wanted to say thank you for this season. I was blessed to be your coach. I learned so much from you as I was also coaching and teaching you myself. So this season, our theme was on details, and we did details. We really, with Coach Brondike helping us out, we worked together as a team with the varsity. We worked on our serves. We worked on footwork. We did a lot of communication, and if they didn't, they were running. Yes, I'm one of those coaches. We focused on also a verse that I had on my email every week. It was 2 Chronicles 15:7. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. Last year, I had about 3 of these girls on a volleyball team that we did not have a lot of talent because they were all brand new to the game. This year, they 3 came back with a vengeance and was ready to work as much harder this year and try to improve, and I was very grateful. We brought up more girls who did play on middle school, except for one. One is brand new, never had competition before in volleyball, and yet she improved immensely. And they were all strong, and they did not give up. We may not have been rewarded with a lot of wins, but we have been rewarded in so many other areas. I've seen you grow as a team, as friends, and as spiritual leaders. I saw you guys step up to pray and encourage one another no matter what happened. I saw you grow on the court with your footwork and communication with one another. We won 6 sets in the season due to the teamwork that I saw from everyone. I saw you guys step up, help me, even when I was healing from surgery. You guys have taught me to keep being positive and keep encouraging no matter what. With that being said, let me jump into my meeting notes here. All of these girls deserves an award, honestly. But I can only give 2, unfortunately. If I didn't, I would have said the following for Michaela. I would have given her the Hard Worker Award. She pushed herself and others to learn the position of a setter that she was given, and she was excited about it. Amy Jean, I would give her the most difficult award, as she's my own daughter, and as you know, it's hard to coach your own flesh and blood. But she had a hard serve, and she did push herself, and she could pick up some pretty tough plays. When we thought it was hitting the ground, she was there. Mackenzie would have been most energetic. She was hardworking, dedicated, always encouraging all of her teammates. Brooklyn, most improved. She's not played any competition volleyball, but where she is now, you can see a fantastic improvement. She helped us also in some important plays when she was on the game. Diana, most vivacious. She's lively, animated. She was all over the court, did her best with whatever position, whether it was a setter, and in the middle of the season, throwing her in libero. And she was all over it. Ellie was the most keen player, understanding what needed to be done and stepping up with improving her serves, going from underhand to overhand, and her hits. She had some pretty good kills that I have not seen from her ever in the 2 years that I have coached her. Ashlyn, she was one of our captains. She had one of the top scores in serves. She struggled a little bit health-wise throughout the season, but she was always there no matter what. And she was great overall, which is why this year I am giving her the Team Leader Award. And then last but not least, Mary Douglas is another one of our captains. She stepped up this year. She pushed herself to be better. She's one of our top kills of this year. She kept trying even after practice. She was one that would come up to me asking, what else can I do to improve? How else should I do this? What can I do to get my serves over? Another one who was always underhand serve, not a lot of muscle, but in the last 2 years, she pushed herself to started having her serves overhand almost consistently at the end of the season. Always had a good attitude and ready to step up. And one of the biggest things, at least my school, we used to be the Eagles, and we had what we called an Eagle Award. It was kind of like a Christian character award. Somebody who has a good attitude, somebody who pushes herself. And so this year, I'm giving the Falcon Christian Character Award to Mary Douglas. Thank you.
We just want to thank Coach T for a wonderful season she has given us and all the great memories that we've had with her. And we're just going to really miss this.
We love you, Coach T, and all that you've done for us, just health-wise and helping us with our character and growing closer to God and all that you've done for us. I'm sad this was my last year with you.
All right, thank you, Coach T and JV Volleyball. We will move on to our next team, which is our varsity boys and girls cross country and Coach Somer. So come on up.
So I want to begin, as many of the coaches, thanking parents. Appreciate you all. Cross country is definitely a different sport because we don't have really anything home. So every meet we have, including our home meet, is away. And the bummer of that for our cross country team is if the parents don't show up, we don't have fans. So that's it. So thank you, parents, for showing up, being consistent, being there, cheering us on. We really appreciate it. Miss McLean, Mrs. Van D for supplying drinks and making sure that they were covered with snacks after every meet. We really appreciate that. So as you can see, if you were here last year, this is definitely a different season for us. Last year there was about 19 people up here. This year we have about 7 because one of my guys is sick at home. So much smaller team, graduated 14 seniors last year, and a much different look in terms of our speed. You know, last year I'd coached some of those kids since 6th grade, and you know we'd come a long way. This year we were kind of starting over and building as we went through the season. We did not focus on, you know, whether we were going to win a meet and whatnot. This year we just focused on getting better. I set as our team verse in Colossians chapter 3. It says, "Set your affections on things above and not in things of the earth." Ultimately, running is like the Christian life. It's a marathon. Cross country is like that. It's just that endurance and staying faithful and just keep pushing yourself. Keep your eyes above, not down here. And it was really neat to see this reflected in our state meet. We competed just around the corner down in Cary. And after the race, if you could have seen Nico as we were coming up the hill the last time, we all screamed and yelled for him. And he passed something like 6 guys coming into the finish line, which was pretty neat. And after the race, he said, "You know why I ran really well, Coach?" I said, "No, Nico, what was up with that? I loved it." He goes, "I was running for God's glory today, and that helped me run fast." I was like, "That's awesome." And that's really that was our goal for this year, not to worry about results, but let's give our best for God's glory, and that's what really matters, really, in anything we do, and the results will take care of themselves. So this time, I don't have a lot, so I can actually talk a little bit about each one. Michael Reed's not here. He's one of my seniors. He's homesick. But one thing I appreciate about Michael is he always came to practice with a good attitude, always had a little funny smile, and he would always ask me really good questions, and going to miss all those conversations we had next year. Johannes, this was really a turnaround season for him. He came a long way. Last year it was sprint, walk, sprint, walk, sprint, walk, and then, fastest 100 meters in history at the final bit. And that last 100 meters always drove me nuts, and I felt bad because he was always so proud of how fast he ran at the end. But as someone who's done competitive running, you can scream all you want to run faster at the end. I have nothing left. Well, this year, last race of the season, coming up the hill, I'm like, "Go, Johannes, sprint." He had nothing left. It's like, yes. He got it. He learned this season how to pace himself, how to use up the energy throughout the race so that by the time he was done, he had used up everything he had, no sprint. Nico, another one of my, actually one of my 2 new runners this year. If you know Nico at all, you know that his favorite thing to do is lift weights. And typically, lift weights, run cross country don't usually go together. And he came out, and I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how it was going to work out. And very first run he went out, he wasn't sure I was going to work out. And I turned around, and at the very end, he's like right there with me. And then in the first race, I'm like, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to stay with this person and pace yourself. Gun goes off, and he's gone. And every race, he just got a little bit faster and a little bit faster. So much fun to watch. Andrew was our top runner from last year, coming into this year. So a lot of expectations on him. And I pushed that boy this year. And he had his breakthrough moment. And in running, the breakthrough moment is when you can break through the mental barrier. Running it's physical, but it's really mental. And I kept saying, this boy has more in him. I know he's got more in him. I mean, his time is not reflecting what I'm seeing in practice. And then I think it was Wilson. He finally hit the number I was looking for. And he pushed through, broke that mental barrier. And that's a good thing because he's got 2 more years to improve on it. Sarah was our only middle schooler. And normally middle school, I make them run with our varsity, but because I didn't have a full team of girls, I let her run middle school meets this year. And I see a lot of potential in her, and I really pushed her. She didn't like that at times. But I was encouraged by the end of the season where she was talking to me about training this summer for next year. So I guess it wasn't too bad, and she's got a really good future ahead of her. Eva was my brand new runner to our school, and for me, the first time that I had her, she had run in a previous school. And when she started out the season, just super sweet, but not as fast. Every single meet, she got faster, and that's always neat to see. By the end of the season, she had knocked off over 5 minutes from her original time. That's huge. Most of the time we're looking, if I can shave 30 seconds off, 40 seconds off in a season, I'm pretty happy with that. But 5+ minutes was really good. So for that, Eva is my most improved runner. Olivia was one of my other seniors, and this is my second year I got the privilege of coaching her. All three of my girls are very sweet. Olivia it just oozes out of her, that sweetness. Always comes with this beautiful smile and great attitude. And one thing that I really appreciated about her is she kind of has that mothering spirit about her, and she watches out for the team. She encourages them. But I think the thing that really impresses me the most about Olivia, and I got to see it this summer, she went on a mission trip with us, is she really loves the Lord, and she really wants to serve him, and that came out in how she ran, it came out in how she encouraged the other girls, and she was a blessing to me and to the other team as well. So Olivia gets my Team Character Award. Christian Character Award. And I did not forget Josiah. Josiah's been on this team, been my longest runner, been running with me since middle school. He has stuck with it. I'll just put it this way, cross-country running is not his thing. I wish I had a track team for him because he would be an excellent 400-meter runner. But 400 meters and, 3,100 meters is a completely different thing. And not 3,100 meters, 3.15, 5,000 meters. Wow, I'm really off. 5,000 meters versus 400 meters, there you go. Much worse. Cross country is not his thing, but every single year, Josiah just kept coming back, kept running. And even though I knew it wasn't his favorite thing, he just kept doing it and has always done it with this great attitude. And this year just took on his leadership role as a senior, and was an encouragement. But I think the biggest way he was a team leader, and also goes with the name of his award, is he ran through most of the season with an injury. And I thought it had gotten better. I didn't realize it hadn't. And he just wouldn't say anything to me. But he just kept running through, and finally it just almost, took him out. I think one practice he made it half a mile and he was done. And that's when I realized how bad it was. So he took like 1 week off and then came right back and never complained, just kept running hard, kept pushing hard, kept encouraging everyone else. And what a blessing that was. So Josiah, my other senior, gets the Perseverance Award. So again, my privilege. It's my 13th, 14th year coaching cross country. It's always a blessing. So thank you guys for that opportunity.
I just want to say thank you to Coach for all he does on and off the field, because he puts in a lot of work for our team. So thank you.
Thank you, Coach Sommer, for all the time you've put in for practices. It's been a really great season. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach Sommer and cross country. I do want to say before we advance to the next slide, that should say Michael Reed and not Michael Brigham. Thank you. He's over there, but he's not a cross country runner, so he's not doing that. Anyway, Michael, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I was typing from my brain and I put the wrong last name. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and move forward to our next team, and that is varsity volleyball. So there they are. Come on up. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start here. So I had the privilege to coach all of them this year. There's not very many, but it was a privilege to be able to get back into coaching volleyball this year. I first of all want to say a few thank yous. Thank you to Coach T for helping and being an assistant, also coaching the JV team. Our varsity volleyball and JV volleyball teams practice together, so we do a lot of the same things and work together very closely. So thank you for all that you did for us, as well as keeping our stats. That was very helpful. Thank you to Miss Beamy for keeping score for us the whole year. Appreciate you sacrificing all of your time. Thank you to all of the parents who so willingly did the line judging and the clock and the gate and everything else that they always tell me how much they love doing. So I appreciate all of you. No, for real though, I never had any problems with that, and that's a big weight off my shoulders. So thank you to all of you for doing that. And also, thank you to my team back there. So I am missing one today. Sarah is not here. She is traveling. You can be in prayer for her and her family with a loss that they had in their family. So if she gets to watch this, what? Okay, we'll talk about it. You can share it, that's fine. But anyway, Sarah, if you're watching this later, we miss you and we are praying for you and your family. Okay, so our theme this year for varsity volleyball was the same as JV volleyball. It was the details, and our verse came from Luke 16:10, which said, "One who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much, and one who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much." We knew this year that the little things were going to be really important for our team, that we weren't just going to be able to gloss over the fundamental stuff and just automatically be able to do everything really well. We knew we were going to have to start and really make sure the basics were really good for us to be able to get where we wanted. And I'm really happy with how they did, and just had a blast with them. They were always willing to work hard. They always came to practice with great attitudes. They worked with me. I was really busy, obviously, trying to cover a lot of different things, and they were always ready to step up and fill in, and they were just ready to do drills and ready with practice. And so I'm just thankful for them and the great group that they are, even though there's not very many of them. It was definitely a growing season for us. There was, questions coming in about who was going to, play what positions, how we were going to fill in different spots, but there was potential, and there was a group that wanted to improve. And I think as a coach, that's all you can ask for. And that made it a very meaningful season for us, and I was appreciative of that. We finished with 5 wins. Could have easily been 8 or maybe even 9 if we had a couple players missing here and there and a couple injuries and a couple very close games. But we did host our first round playoff game, which is always a big deal. And we went to 5 sets 4 times, and we won those every single time. So that was pretty cool for them. Good job, everyone. Especially with, not very many. The more you play, the tireder you get. And so a lot of them played all 6 rotations, every single match. That's really tasking, and it's really hard mentally to be able to do that. So I'm proud of them and the hard work and the perseverance that they showed. Beyond all that, I think the most proud of them that I was just of them as people and watching them throughout the season. We had a couple opportunities where I let the players lead. We called them Monday motivations or Thursday thoughts, where the players get to kind of present something, and I tell them, it can be spiritual, it can just be, something that's motivational, whatever you want to do. I kind of leave it open-ended for them. And we had 4 or 5 of these, and every single time one of the players came up, they always had a verse, They always had an application of that verse to their lives and of how that applied to volleyball. And that just was so awesome to me, to see how they were in God's word and then applying that to their sports. So I thought that was really cool. So we only have 9 players, only 8 up here today. We've got 2 ninth graders, Diana, who was our libero as a 9th grader, which is a pretty great accomplishment, and then also Claire. Claire Perry finished actually first on our team in digs, playing middle blocker, which is a pretty cool stat there. She was second in blocks on our team, and the team voted her as the most likely to dance on the court. So congrats, I guess. But anyway, a lot of energy between those two. I have one 10th grader, Mary Douglas. She also played JV, but she was a very important piece. We had 2 games where she had to step in and fill in for injured players, and without her, it would have been not good. So thank you for being ready to do that, Mary Douglas. We have 3 11th graders, Sarah, who is not here tonight, but Ashlyn, who also played JV and did both, so she had a lot on her. She was a serving specialist for us, and she was also voted as being the loudest person on the team, which is definitely true. My eardrums would agree with you as she was cheering on the sideline, but her energy was very contagious, so we appreciated that. And then Ariel. Ariel kind of stepped into a new role for us this year, playing a lot more, serving, doing everything I needed her to do. And she was also, according to her teammates, the most likely to trip. So that tracks. But she did a great job. Good job, Ariel. And then we had 3 seniors, Jennifer, Gretchen, and Andy. So let's just give a round of applause to our seniors. Good job, everyone. Very proud of all of them. They were definitely leaders on our team, stepped into that role, helped me out a whole lot, and also they got a really awesome 5-set win on their senior night, which I was so happy that they did that, and very proud of them and their hard work. So anyway, that's my small but mighty team. So we're going to get into our awards here. We have 3 that we are going to give: team character, team player, and team leader. First of all, for the team character, this just goes to a player that always had energy, effort, and enthusiasm, great attitude, no matter what the situation was. And I think this definitely applies to this player. She, no matter what, was very consistent, a ton of energy. We could rely on her to help pick us up when things were not going well. And she really grew a lot in that area since last year. So very thankful for her and what she did this year. And you could see in the voting from her teammates, she won this one clear and away. So the Team Character Award goes to Sarah Rockwell, who is not here, but let's give her a round of applause. All right, next up we have the team. Oh, got it. I put that wrong. That was team player, was Sarah. I said the wrong thing, team player. Now we have team character. And this is a player who puts the team first and is unselfish and understands their role. And I definitely think this is a player that had great character, for sure. She was truly a coach's player, did whatever I needed, and would never think twice about saying anything different. And I think sometimes it was maybe something that she wasn't super keen on doing, but you wouldn't have known that because she doesn't care about that. She cares about doing what's best for other people. And so the Team Character Award this year goes to Ariel Harrison. Don't trip. All right, and lastly, we have our Team Leader Award, and this goes to someone who obviously shows leadership, who is a servant, and is one who is always responsible. When I think of this player, I just think of someone who is very consistent, not only in her play, but in her attitude. If there was someone that I could count on every single game that could just give me what I needed, if I wanted one person to be on the service line whenever the game was on the line, or whatever it might be, this is who I wanted. And I was really proud of her as a senior, just stepping up. She had the respect of her teammates as a leader. They always listened when she talked. She always gave the pep talks. She was voted as best pep talks, so good job. But she was just a great player and a great leader for us, and very proud of the season she had. So the Team Leader Award this year goes to Andy McBride. Okay, that'll do it for my team. I also have some all-conference awards for this team, but we are going to wait until the end to do those. So we are going to go ahead and move on. So anyway, thank you one last time. Proud of y'all. Thank you. Come over and get your award. Get your picture.
Mr. Rondyke, we just wanted to thank you for an amazing season and all the hard work you put in for us and for keeping us to be spiritual-minded, but also focused on just being wise with our time and our efforts and learning more about volleyball. Thank you.
Okay, our last team that we have this evening, we are going to call up varsity boys soccer. So y'all come up. Coach Milton, and we also have Coach Sellers, and we have Coach Austin. So y'all come right over here, and the floor is yours.
I gotta drop this down a bit. I'm a little bit shorter than everybody else. I'm old and cold and wearing a jacket, but I'm not as old as Dave Willis, so that's a good thing. You know the best thing about going last is while you guys were in here doing everything right here, I was in the back licking all the chocolate chip cookies. So just FYI, eat those at your own risk. Coach Alfonso, hey, stand up one time. This guy looks good. This guy looks good. Doesn't this guy look good? Come on. I'm just going to let you know right now, he's going to be a fantastic coach. All right, I'm just letting you know. He's going to be good. He cares about the players, and he did a good job. Real quick about our season. If you know anything about me, you know that I like to talk to our young men as men, and I like to challenge them, and I like to be honest with them. And when we started the season, I just let them know at the beginning of the season, you're going to be. Are you laughing at me? You guys laughing at? Layla's laughing at me. I'm still taller than you, by the way. I just let them know that this is going to be a hard season. We are going to work hard. And that's what we're going to do. And if there's going to be something that marks us, it's going to be we're going to go out there and we're going to work hard. We may not be as skilled as you are, but we're going to go out there and we are going to work hard. And the beginning of the season started off really, really well. And we were just doing a lot of good things. And I was really, really pleased with their effort. And then we started getting into conference play. Well, our conference play, if you saw who we played and who they played, they started beating teams that they've never beaten before. And I'm talking about teams that are a division higher than them, and one of the teams beat a team 2 divisions above them. And I'm sitting there looking at this, and I'm like, man, the year that we're doing a lot of good things, every other team in our conference has gotten a lot better. And so we went through, I mean, we got banged up, we got hit hard, and we were doing a lot of good things, but they were doing some things that we just couldn't score at times and things like that, and then we couldn't play good defense. And we were going through, man, a lot of learning curves. And then there was a time when we went on, the school went on the field trips and their class trips. And so there was about 10 days in which we really didn't have a good practice. And we come back and we play St. Thomas More, and they're a good team, and they put it to us. And after that game, I saw some discouragement. So Thursday's practice, I said, hey, let's just go into the classroom. Let's just talk a bit. You know, we need to talk. And we just had a pretty honest conversation. We talked about expectations. We talked about what we're doing. And the conversation went from the guys looking at the ground to the guys looking at me in the eyes. And that's what I want. All right? I want the guys to be looking at me. And I said, we can do one of two things at this point. All right? Just like Alabama did against Tennessee, you know, in the win in the halftime, roll tide, right? Coach went in and says, you got a choice to make. And I looked at them and said, you got a choice to make. How are you going to treat the rest of the season? And you know what they did? They looked at me in the eyes, like what a man should do, and says, you know what? I'm going to complete my responsibilities. I'm going to go and do my best. And our team verse was the same as middle school, was whether therefore you eat or drink or whatsoever you do all to the glory of God. And we're going to do our best. And I'm going to tell you that before they were doing their best, and I agree with that. But at this point, they said, when we talked, it was no matter what our situation was, we're coming out to work. We had a bad game. The very next day, they came out to work hard. They were focused. And it got to the point where I'm looking at young men. I'm looking at men who are completing their responsibilities despite what the results are. And that's what you expect of men, isn't it? Where a man goes out every single day, he does his very best because he has responsibilities to complete, all right? He has people depending on him, and you go out and you do your best. You don't worry about the results. And the young men up here, all right, because that's the way they started acting, went out there and they regardless of what went on, they came out every single day at practice. They never complained. They had all the responsibilities done. I had seniors all the way through freshmen getting out cones, soccer balls, all the responsibilities. They were all ready to go by the time I got out there. And that's what a young man does. To be honest with you, that's what men do. They complete their responsibilities. With everything that's in their heart, they complete it, despite what's going on, despite the results that they're getting. They do what's right. They do 100%. And so here's something that if you're a parent of varsity soccer, you may not realize. Do you realize in the last 1/3 of our season, if we scored, we did not lose in regular time. There was only one game in which we scored that we did not win, and that was against Trinity Chapel Hill in Durham, and they did not beat us in regular time. They had to do it in PKs. All right, and they were ranked number 2 on our side of the brackets. Number 2 team on our half of the brackets, and they could not beat us in regular time. You know what? That just goes to show you that there's men up here who went out every day faithfully, completed their responsibilities, put the results behind them, and acted like men. Man, I'll tell you what, I was really proud of them. I was really, really proud. And one of the most proud, I've coached college, and in the very last game we played in the state tournament, we played at Greenfield, and we talked in the bus. And I said, guys, this is what I want your mentality to be. You're going to walk out of this bus. We're not saying anything. We're going to go out there. We're looking head high level. Everybody who we walk past, we're looking them in the eyes, and we're conducting ourselves well. We walked into that place like we owned it. All right, we got ready. We did everything we did. Warm-ups were right on. The results was not what we wanted, but I'm going to tell you this. I could not be more proud of a group of guys that just walked in like a bunch of men. They walked in like they had an undefeated season. There's confidence in the eyes. They were ready to play. And as a coach, that's what you want to see. A couple of highlights from the season. In the first round of the playoffs, I told Jonathan Clark, I said, if we score 1 goal, we have a 60% chance of winning. If we score 2 goals, we're winning this game. Because halfway through the season, tell me if I'm lying. Halfway through the season, I told him, I said, we're going to be the most dangerous team in the first round. Didn't I say that? You better shake your head, because I did say that. All right? They scored. The other team went up 1-0 at the beginning of the second half. And then, boom, we told Tate and Liam, I said, they're going to do this. We want you to make a pass this way, and we're going to score. Sure enough, Tate gets the ball at his feet, turns, splits the defenders. Liam just runs right onto it, gets one-on-one with the keeper, buries into the back of net, and man, I'm on the sideline. I got pistol guns going right here, and I'm like, yeah. And then Then we win the game with my man who had an injury, could not play, and then all of a sudden here he is showing up in our game, plays his guts out, and all of a sudden here he is in the box. The ball comes right to his feet, and what does he do? Calm and cool, like the other side of the pillow. Side net. We're up 2-1. We win the game. And I told you, Mr. Clark, testify for me, buddy. All right? We scored 2 goals, 100% win. And I'm going to tell you this. It's not possible unless these guys are going out every day, taking care of their responsibilities like a bunch of men. They could have let the whole season ride in the back of their minds the entire time, but they didn't. You know what they did? They put those things behind them, and they pressed forward. That's what we want as men, right? And so I was very, very pleased with these guys. We got a couple of awards here. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go over a couple of these real quick here. Can't tell you that one yet. Can't tell you that one yet. Can't tell you that one yet. Not that one either. Okay, here we go. Most offensive player. All right. That was a tie between Liam and Tate. All right. That one wasn't my cell phone. Muscle cramp award. Liam, most likely to get a cramp. The Whiner award, most likely to complain about the other team. Gabe. Yeah. I don't know. Sheets award. Most likely to roam around sheets, talking, picking up everything, and then only getting one thing. Adam just edged out Johan. Let's see. The Bruh Award. All right. When I was growing up in the early 90s, it was something else, but now that we're here 30 years later, bruh. All right. Player who knows, the player you never know what they're going to do next, Jackson. All right, and then I got a couple here. You name the award and define it and who won it. Best duo, Jackson and Josh. Cheekiest player, Josh. I don't know. Most missed PKs, Michael. That's brutal. Let's see now. Most concentrated award. A player who always is locked in practices and games, has the fewest mistakes, Isaiah. Here's the best and worst goalie award goes to Patrick. He's our only goalie, so I guess he's the best and the worst one we got. Let's see. The dumbest thing I did this season. Let's see. I shot the goal over the net. I passed the ball to the other team too many times. I ordered mozzarella sticks at Sheetz. I wonder who that one is. Adam, Johan. Let's see now. Miss a pen? I don't know. I mean, they're still teenagers. They don't know what they're thinking sometimes. Let's see. Forgot my jersey award. I wonder who that one goes to. All right, and then here we go. The guys voted on this. Best Coach Award. Choices were Coach Milton, Mr. Milton, or Head Coach. Smartest Coach Award. Choices were Coach Milton, Mr. Milton, our head coach. Hey. And then the coolest coach. Options were Coach Milton, Mr. Milton, head coach. I got the trifecta there. Best goalie coach with 64% of the votes. Coach Seller edged out Mr. Sellers. And then best freelance coach with 71.4% of the votes. Coach D'Angelo edged out Coach Austin, which is the same person for you guys that don't know that. All right, let's see. And then I think the funniest thing that was said goes, let's see, which coach said the funniest thing? And I think that goes to me with, this field is the same size as ours. It was funny, told you. All right, and then the dumbest thing the coach said was, this field is as big as ours. So, all right, there's that one. So we're done with that one. All right, Best Defender Award. He goes to one of our seniors. He's not the tallest guy, but I'm going to tell you this. Sorry. He plays like he's 6'5". Man, he's got the heart of a lion. He doesn't back down from anybody. And as it was mentioned earlier, man, he's just locked in. I mean, the guy's just locked in. And that award goes to Isaiah Mercer. All right, if you're paying attention, this guy's the loudest laugher up there, so that should give the award away. This guy's our team voted by the players and coaches as Team Character Award. I wish this guy had played all through middle school and then all through high school. This guy's a great athlete, and he's a good guy. He really is. There's a lot that you can say about him. I taught him. I enjoyed him in class. The guy just works hard. And he improved on his skill so much from his 10th grade year to his 12th grade year, and just did a fantastic job. And if we ever wanted to annoy someone, we'd say, hey, we're going to Adam 12 this guy. And for all you old people, you know what I'm referencing to, right? Adam 12? Anybody? No? Oh, I got a hand up back there. All right, and so this award goes to, Team Character goes to Adam Umesi. All right, this next award goes to Coach's Award. This guy was really hungry this year. I mean, this guy learned. This guy just worked really, really hard. Half the time when he kicked it as far as he could, I don't know if he knew where it was going, but it went. But the guy actually ended up playing very, very good defense, 1v1. He's a big, strong guy. And again, he really worked, one of the things that he really worked hard on was understanding his position and the responsibility in the defense. And again, another guy that I wish he had played all through high school, but had other things going on, and just did a fantastic job. I was super proud of this guy. I mean, this guy did a real good job with leadership. I'm just going to let you know that right now. And the way he communicated with some of the younger guys was just fantastic. I just loved it. And I was really, really proud of this guy, and I thought he did a really, really good job for us. And that award goes to Michael Brigham. All right, we have a team award here, team award / kind of like an MVP, where this guy was in the top voting on almost all of them. He was either he was basically second on every single vote, and I agree with this. This guy put his heart into everything. He always puts his heart into everything. He's a great guy to have on the team. He's done it. He's really improved as a competitor. And when he was in middle school, man, this guy was this guy played hard. And then he played hard as a middle schooler and plays hard as a senior this year. And just a guy I really enjoy having on my teams. Not enough can be said about his competitiveness, but also there was a lot of leadership that he showed this year. I mean, taking guys in and not just hanging out with just the seniors, but also hanging out with other guys on the team. And I just thought he did a good job, and the players thought he did a good job as well. So, and this team leader award goes to Liam Willis. That's it.
Can go down. If you got an award, go over here.
I'd just like to say to Coach Milton and Ms. Sellers and Coach Austin. Oh, hey, Ms. Sellers, you showed up. Let's go. Thank you for an amazing season. I had so much fun. I wish I would have played more years. And thank you for being a great, godly role to us that we can look to. Thank you for that.
All right, so the last thing that we have this evening, oh, thank you. varsity boys and Coach Milton and Coach Austin and Coach Sellers. The last thing we have this evening before I will let you go is just to announce our all-conference winners. Let me grab my computer. So our varsity teams are part of the Raleigh Area Athletic Conference, which is made up of 6 teams in our area. Every year at the end of the seasons, the coaches get together and vote a top list of who they think the best players are in our conference. And you are not guaranteed to have any players on these teams. So we've had a few years when we don't have any at all. We have some years where we have multiple. And on our volleyball and our soccer teams this year, we had multiple players on them. So we'd like to take a minute to honor both those that made the all-conference team, and also there were some that were honorable mentions as well. We are going to start with varsity volleyball, since I'm up here, and then we'll do varsity soccer next. So the first player that made the all-conference, this is the honorable mention for our conference, which means they didn't officially make the team, but they were very close, right on the edge. This player for varsity volleyball finished 3rd in the conference in assists with 243. She had 140 digs, 40 aces, and hit, she actually was a setter, and she had a 364 hitting percentage, which you might not know what that means, but that's very high. So she did a great job in her role, and she also received an award earlier. Great player, great setter, senior. Honorable mention, all conference, is Andy McBride. Can you come up? And then we had one player that made the all-conference team. She finished 2nd in our conference in kills with 173. She was 4th in our conference in aces with 53, 155 digs, and she was just great all around. She played all 6 rotations of every game. Our team relied on her a whole lot as a player, and she had a great senior season. She had 4 matches with over 20 kills this year. Our all-conference player for varsity volleyball is Gretchen Murray. Here you go, get one of these. All right, and now I'm going to let Coach Milton come up for the soccer team.
There you go. Back down to the short person. It's like Coach Brondike said. The voting, you can get somebody on or you can not get somebody on. You can nominate all you want, and the other coaches can blackball you. I mean, there's just a whole number of things that can go on. So my first one is honorable mention. Again, this guy earned an award tonight. We pushed him for all conference. We gave the stats. We did everything we could. And if we had gotten him on, we would have gotten as many number of all conference players as a second place team in our conference. But he ended up being 1 vote short of making all conference. And so he got honorable mention, and that is Liam Willis. Oh, do the other one first?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. All right. This guy, when we get done playing games, the coach would always come up to me and say, "Man, this is a good player." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. He is a good player." Tied with for most votes for offensive player. Handles the ball well. Is very strong. Has a good soccer IQ. has desires to play soccer at the collegiate level, and I believe that he can and will. When he first came here, I was like, man, I don't know if this guy's going to make it. And every game, he just got stronger and stronger. I wasn't able to coach last year, so I wasn't able to see a lot of games. But this year, it's incredible, his physical development. He is a very strong individual, and when he gets the ball on his foot, he's very hard to get off the ball. And to no fault of his own, he just needed a little bit more support on this and that. But I just thought he did a fantastic job this year, and the other coaches in the conference agreed, and so this goes to Tate Hosford. This guy, the next guy, okay, you don't see who this is. This guy was the dirtiest player we had on our team. From warm-ups, this guy just started diving everywhere. He stained all the jerseys we've ever given to him. We can't get the dirt out of him. But when you play, some of you got on to that for that. He's the dirtiest player, right? This guy is a competitor. This guy dives after balls. I mean, there's time. The guy blocks PKs. There's one time he blocked a PK and then a point-blank game his 8th grade year to preserve a game for us. In 2 of our wins to beat Noose, the school down the road, we went to PKs overtime, and this guy came up huge for us, blocked the PKs so that we could win the game. And everybody's just like, I would like that keeper on my team. And I was like, I know you do, but hands off. All right? And so this award goes to Patrick Keller. One last thing. I did not mention this before at the beginning. I wanted to mention it now, and I apologize to Coach Brondike because I did not tell him that I was going to do this. I've been involved with Friendship since the fall of 2012. And for those of you that don't know me, I've been around a little while. And now I work with other schools, and I meet with other schools. And I just want you to realize one thing, is that you have a very special environment here. All right? I just want you to know that it is a good atmosphere of teachers and coaches and parents working together. Now, anywhere you go, there's no perfect place. I'm going to tell you that. But I'm going to tell you this. There's not a group of coaches and teachers, because I see some teachers here, who care more about your kid outside of you. And so I would tell you this. Be grateful for what you have. Nurture it. Let it grow, because this environment is what's good for your kid. And I hope you understand that. To the coaches, there are 2 coaches that I did not mention earlier, because I want them to stand up for me as I'm saying this, and that is Jesse Sellers and Austin D'Angelo. If you guys would stand up for me. Coach Sellers must have walked out. Oh, he's up there. He's up there. All right. I get to witness this firsthand with coaching soccer, and as involved other times, Coach Brondike, all right, and the other coaches here, and I see some of the teachers. They love your kids. And I want you to say, be grateful for that, because this is not how it is everywhere. So the teachers here have a special place in my heart, and so do the coaches. And I just want you to know, as parents, is that your kids are in good hands. They love your kids. Everything may not go smoothly all the time, but that's because we're people. I just want you to know that you got a good thing going here. So to Coach Brondike, I want to say very much thank you. He does an excellent job. Coach Sommer, working in the athletic office, does a great job. All the coaches, assistant coaches, you do a good job, and I'm proud of you guys. And be grateful for what you got here. Students, be grateful. This is not how it is everywhere. Don't take it for granted.
Okay, can y'all go over there so we can get a group picture of y'all over on the other side? Okay, thank you so much. That'll do it for this evening. Before I let you go, let me just remind you there are refreshments, drinks outside, and there's also a little area to take some pictures in front of our background there. Also, excuse me, to our athletes, if you played a varsity sport this year, I think you're mostly over here, for the first time, if you have not played a varsity sport before this year and you're in high school, then I have a varsity letter for you over here. You only get one, so if you've already gotten one, you don't get a second one. But if it's your first year, you're new to the school, first year on the varsity team, please come see me over here and I will make sure you get that. And I think that is it. So we're going to close with a word of prayer and then I'll let you be on your way. God, thank you for a great evening. We thank you for our school and our families and everyone who's represented here this evening. I pray that in all we do, that we would bring glory to you, and that includes how we conduct our sports, how we go throughout every day of our lives. And we just thank you for the opportunities that we have here at FCS, and we thank you for providing for all of us, teachers and coaches, and great families and students that are so supportive. And we truly pray that our ministry here would be one that reflects you. Help everyone here to have a great evening. In Jesus' name, amen.